Tour solo female nomad. Living full-time in a Jeep. Cheap RV living.
Well, I think we should learn a little bit more about how you live in a Jeep. I personally want to learn. That's my crazy dog chasing
birds.
Oh, a hawk, beautiful hawk. And a little bird chasing the hawk. It's funny how little birds can chase them around.
Oh.
Welcome back to my next video. Today we're meeting Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
And this fabulous Jeep.
Love my Jeep.
I also love Jeeps. In fact, that's the only thing I really envy is people who can have a vehicle that can go really deep into the backcountry.
And it does.
Yes, that is built super well. Are those, the tire size is really one of the most important things on a Jeep. Are those 40s?
No, they're 37s.
37s.
37s. I wish I had 40s, but
Yeah.
for traveling, I can't have 40s. No.
Yeah, that's not a very practical size.
Yeah.
That's really too specialized. 37s is great.
Yeah.
So that's, most of you don't care about that, but in the Jeep world, that's a really big deal.
It is. Yeah.
Very big deal. And I love Jeeps. I love the idea of being in the backcountry. I bought my side-by-side as a easy way for me to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to be a minimalist to live in a Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
And so you are bare minimum in there.
And short.
And short, yes, that is also very helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah. And so you must be full-time now, or are you part-time?
I am full-time. So I started traveling 17 months ago, and originally I was towing a 16-foot travel trailer behind my Jeep. And then September 1st, I decided to store my travel trailer and then just try traveling in just my Jeep. So I built out the inside of my Jeep and to live in, and it's a lot easier for me to just travel with the Jeep than it is with the trailer.
Right.
So a lot easier.
Right. And you're doing a rooftop tent?
That is a storage bag,
Storage
actually.
bag. Okay.
So I sleep on the inside. I don't do the rooftop tent because of the fact that I feel more safe and secure sleeping inside of my Jeep than I would in a tent.
I agree
on top,
completely.
so.
Yeah. Hard sides are always better.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a puppy, although hoisting her up there isn't all that hard.
Yeah.
A little bigger dog had become a big issue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so a question I always ask everyone is why? Here you are wandering around in the backcountry in a Jeep. And so I think a lot of people want to know what brought you to that.
So I lived in Vegas for 16 years. The reason why I moved to Vegas originally is because at 30 years old, I had never met my father. So I hired a private investigator to find my father, met him at 30, moved to Vegas to get to know him and have a relationship with him. A few years ago, he was diagnosed with early stages of dementia. And so I moved him into the house with me and took care of him. And then because of his dementia, he wasn't, all there in the head and everything. So one night I came home and he shot and killed himself in front of me. And then after that, I lost my best friend to pancreatic cancer 2 months later. And so I sunk into a huge depression, and I had a really good job that I worked at for like 10 years in Vegas. And I kind of engulfed myself into work just to stay busy all the time. Yeah, for about a year and a half, it was just depression and working a lot and stuff. And then I took a trip to Sedona, Arizona one time, and I met this girl that was traveling in her 4Runner and living out of her 4Runner. And she told me the reason why she started doing it was because her brother committed suicide. And this was her therapy to go be with nature and stuff like that. And so it just clicked in my head, okay, maybe this is a sign. I'm a hiker. I used to be a rock climber. I love the outdoors, so turned in a 6-month notice to my job and planned it out for 6 months on how I was going to make it work, and just gave up everything and became homeless in my vehicle. And I have to say, in my 45 years, this is the happiest I've ever been. And it definitely has been my way of working through everything that I went through. So.
Of course, I have suicide in my family, and I can relate a little bit to what you've experienced, and it had a very profound effect on me also. Changed the course of my life. It makes you stop and think: do you want to wait, or do you want to live now? And you've chosen to live now.
Yeah.
So that's very, very admirable.
I had to do something.
Yes.
I had to do something. So yeah.
It's easy to sink into that depression and just stay there. So I admire your courage. Yeah. And so you're young still. You're not on Social Security or anything like that. So how are you supporting yourself?
I did have a savings, and when I left Vegas, but when I left Vegas, I just traveled full time and just enjoyed it for like 4 months, and then that savings started going down. So yep. So I started picking up seasonal work camping jobs, and I did that for a little bit. But I started a YouTube channel a year ago, and when I started the YouTube channel, I started making income off of YouTube, my Patreon, my Instagram. So basically that's what I'm doing now is I just make the money off my social media, and that's how I'm able to travel and live very minimalist.
Very minimalist.
Very minimalist, because I'm not getting rich off my YouTube yet. So, but yeah, so I just live extremely minimalist. So.
Right. Well, if you reduce your costs low enough, you don't need a lot to live on.
That's true.
So
yeah.
The two really go well together, almost require each other, that minimalist lifestyle. So that sounds really, really wonderful. And so folks, you should go check out her channel. I think you'll be really glad you did. Tell us all your channel.
So my YouTube is Wandering Gypsy, but it's Jeep C. And then my Instagram is the same thing. It's Wandering_Gypsy. So
go check those out. You'll be really glad you did. And it's your channel's growing and supporting you on the road at your minimal lifestyle.
It is, yes.
That's really super.
Yeah, I'm very blessed for that.
Yes. People out there think it's easy. It's not easy. It's a job.
It is.
A full-time job.
Yes, it is. Yep. You have to do the filming. You have to do the editing. But I also look at it as it's a job I love too. So I'm getting to do what I love. So.
If you're in a bad place in your life, and I know from all the emails I've gotten over the years, many of you are, there's hope. There's a way forward. I believe this lifestyle, healing in nature is a big part of it. So check out Sarah's channel for that, and maybe even contact her through Instagram or YouTube or email. Did we give your email? Do you want to give your email?
My email is wanderingypsy@yahoo.com. Yeah, yahoo.com.
So let's take a look at your Jeep. Like I was saying, if I switched to any vehicle, it would be a four-door Jeep. You have a four-door? You have a four-door Jeep. That's what I'd switch to.
Yeah, she was actually originally built for rock crawling. I used to do a lot of rock crawling when I lived in Vegas. So that's why she kind of looks like that right there, is because she was a rock crawler. But for me to start traveling, I had to do a lot of downgrades on her for me to take her and travel with. So
if you're going to rack up some miles, you've got to have it more stock for longevity.
Yeah, but I'm not giving up the tires.
No. Okay, so I'll try not to nerd out on Jeep and the Jeep world so I don't drive you all crazy, but I can't promise anything. And so let's go take a look at the Jeep.
Well, being short, like I said, helps a lot.
Yeah.
So I did have a lot of upgrades done underneath the hood for the traveling and everything. So I do have the soft top on right now. And as you guys see, the soft top is slanted in the back. So it doesn't give me as much room as a hard top would.
Yeah.
But I have a hard top waiting on me in Vegas right now. So I'm putting a hard top on. And then that is a storage bag. So it gives me extra storage. But I'm taking the storage bag off, and I actually am putting some hard cases up there because that is a pain in the butt to get to, and having to unzip it, untie it, and all that stuff. So and these little things right here, because I'm short, are steps. for me to get up there. I have one on each side, so makes it easy for me to get up there and get the stuff out of the storage bag. So then I have the trash bag. This thing comes in handy right here because, as you guys know, a lot of places like BLM, when you stay on BLM, there's no amenities or anything. So meaning no trash. So you have to pack it in, pack it out, take your trash out. This is one of my favorite things on my Jeep, believe it or not, is this tailgate table.
You bet.
I love this tailgate table so I can cook. This is how I make my coffee right here. This jet boil comes in handy. And then this is my washing station. So it's 2.5 gallons that it holds the water. And then here's my soap and everything. Then I also keep 2 1-gallon jugs of water inside the Jeep to fill it. Here's one of my solar panels right there. And then I keep the other 2 solar panels down here. And then I have my fridge, which is definitely a lifesaver because I love to cook.
Mr. Buddy heater?
Yes, the Mr. Buddy heater. So one of the things I do, because I am at these spots for at least a couple of weeks, so I do have a tent up there in my storage bag.
Right.
So I do take my tent out and I set it up, and the tent is my lounge area. So for when it gets windy or rainy, I have my tent to hang out inside of. So the Mr. Buddy comes in handy for that also.
Right.
Because sometimes waking up in the morning, it's really cold.
Yeah.
So I just go to my tent and I turn that heater on and just heats up the tent like that.
Got a nice big winch there.
Yes, and that has come in handy out here in Quartzsite. I've already rescued a small school bus and also a Sprinter van. Be careful with these big vehicles going in these washes now.
Yes,
so
yeah. That sand sucks you down.
Oh, yes, it does. So these are 2 100-watt solar panels, and then I have another one in the Jeep. And these keep my Jackeries. I have a 500-watt Jackery and a 240-watt Jackery. And it keeps those charged, plus all my laptop and, cell phone and all that other stuff. And the Jackery keeps my fridge charged for a couple of days. So, I mean, it's this whole system has been working for a year now.
And other than the fridge, you'd probably have pretty minimal draw.
Right now it's pulling 2 watts. So then I took my back seat out of my Jeep and I built this platform right here.
Very nice.
And it goes across the whole entire backside of my Jeep.
Oh man, that gives you a lot of space down there.
And then I went to the dollar store, got this little rug to put there. And then this is the way I keep warm when I'm sleeping. I have the wool blanket that goes over my mattress, so it keeps the cold from coming up. And then I have the 0-degree sleeping bag. I have the electric blanket here. And then an 800 fill count comforter. So, and then I have the storage bags that they make for Jeeps. So I have one right here and then one on the other side, and they just attach to my roll bars. And then the little black bag right here is all my clothes. And if I can't fit any clothes in there, then I don't need them. And a fire extinguisher, because definitely need the fire extinguisher. And then I have little blackout curtains for my windows.
Well, I can see that you have everything you need to make your life comfortable and rich and full, if you're a minimalist.
Yes. And it took me a lot because I thought it was when I was doing this towing a travel trailer and moving out of my house into the travel trailer, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like really living minimalist. But then when I stored my travel trailer and started living out of my Jeep, I really, really had to downsize a lot.
Yeah.
So, but I'm happy and content. Like, I don't even want to do it with my travel trailer anymore. I'm going to get rid of my travel trailer now, actually. So, and just do it in my Jeep.
I always have to ask, and how do you go to the bathroom?
Oh, I should have brought that out. So I do have a portable collapsible toilet that I use.
Mhm.
And then for showers, of course, I use the wipes a lot. But I do have a solar bag shower. And then every once in a while, because I need to get these dreadlocks cleaned properly, I will go to a truck stop or a public shower just so I can get my dreadlocks washed.
We all think you have to have a hot shower to stay clean when, if you start thinking like a pioneer, which is kind of what you've really done, is adopted the pioneer lifestyle that, the Conestoga wagon, except it's a Jeep.
Yeah. I did a lot of research, a lot of research to be able to do this right here.
Right.
And to be able to live like this.
Okay, so tell us again your YouTube channel. Everyone should go there right now.
Right now. Right
now,
very
this
second. Don't even watch the end of this video.
Why do that?
So it is Wandering Jeep C. So that's Jeep C.
Okay, and the same thing on Instagram, except there's an underscore.
Underscore right there.
Right.
And this is my little logo right there.
I love that.
So it's, I actually came up with how I wanted my logo done, and then somebody designed it for me. So it's the compass, and then the peace sign, and then my Jeep, and then tread marks as trees, and there's me hiking, and there's the mountains, sun, and stars. I will say this, I know this lifestyle isn't for everybody. Like if you're very passionate about the outdoors and you love the outdoors like I do, and nature has always been my therapy, even before everything that I went through with my father and my best friend, nature was always my way of, like going out hiking was my therapy and stuff. If this isn't your lifestyle right here, there's always something that you can do, that you can find that you're passionate enough. That can be your therapy also.
Yes.
Whether it be drawing, singing, dancing, traveling in your vehicle, RV, tent, walking, walking across the United States, whatever. I mean, just find something that you're passionate about.
Right. Healing is out there in many, many paths.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And this is my healing right here.
Right.
This has probably saved my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it saved my life. Moving into a van the first time saved my life.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your life with us and your story. I know that takes courage. I know personally that takes courage. And what amazing rig and life you've designed for yourself.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
So, folks, be sure, go right now. Where are you going? You're going to Wandering Gypsy, Jeepsy, and subscribing at this very minute. And you'll be glad you did.
Thank you.
So, folks, if you got anything out of this video, and I'm hopeful and confident you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Spiritual News Television, AA Creation 911.